So I just took a video making this logo, and what ended up happening, I believe the video was too long, so it didn't actually save the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through the base steps that I did to create this logo, and this is going to be on Inventor CAM. Fusion 360 will be very similar. There's probably going to be a couple little differences, but this is on Inventor CAM. Master CAM does have a couple better features that you can actually do with the Master CAM software opposed to the Inventor CAM software. But with that being said, Inventor CAM is a lot cheaper, plus you can buy it by the day and other things like that. So with that being said, this is all going to be on Inventor CAM. Now, to start a project, you'd want to go to File, New, Standard, and then I'm going to try to keep this fast because I don't exactly know how long I can record for. So typically when I'm programming on the lathe or drawing up a part on the lathe, what I would do is I would select the XZ axis, and when I'm doing the mill or any flat work that like routing and stuff like that, I would select the XY axis. So because I knew what the flag was already and the dimensions on there, I already wrote everything down. So let's grab this, and I'm going to flip this. I got it all written down on a piece of paper. So for this dimension right here, I'm going to go 19 inches. So 19, and then I'm going to tab. That's going to drop me to here. Now, one of the cool things that both Inventor CAM and Master CAM will allow you to do is you can go 10 and you can do math. So it ends up being a fraction dimension. So if I do 10 plus the fraction that I have to have, which is 5 divided by 32, I actually don't have to know what 5 divided by 32 is, and it's going to do the math for me. And right here you can see it's underneath, it was underneath the parallel sign, but right there we go, 10.156. So now the next thing is, so the next thing, let's go to logo number 1. And the next thing was building this square right here, and then I also built the diamond right here and put these lines in. One of the big things that I will say is as you build these lines is the more characters and more features that you have on Inventor CAM, especially when you go to start doing other things. So I'm just gonna get right here back into the logo. But when I go to start doing like something, if you notice all these little dotted purple lines, that's wanting to snap to features on the part. And so as you add more stuff, it wants to snap more. So you'll have to zoom in to get it to not snap to certain things, which can be kind of frustrating. Some of the things that on Master CAM, you can put things in different layers. It's not as easy on Inventor CAM, but you can definitely still get the job done. For this particular logo, I could have probably did this on something generic like Paint 360 or something like that, but I like to use this CAM software, CAD CAM software, because if I'm going to cam this out and route this particular sign out or logo out, then I can. And then also if somebody wants it as a different file, you know, like they want a step file or a DRX file, I believe that's what it is. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, I can save it as different file formats, some formats for screen 3D printing and stuff like that. So depending on that, that's one of the nice things about doing it with Master CAM or Inventor CAM. Now there is other softwares out there that will allow you to do this that are a lot cheaper, but this is what I'm using it on. So I'm gonna go back to this and kind of show you guys some more of the things that I did. So knowing what the dimension is, if you hover it over like the corner right here, and each line is roughly, with the dimensions that I put on here, is 5 and 32, it's 25 and 32, so I'm just gonna go, I want X to stay 0, and I want to move up on my Y. So this is the X axis and this is the Y axis. So I'm going to do 25 30 seconds. So 25 divided by 32, tab that, It snaps my line right there, and then I'm going to come over here and snap it. And then I happen to know what 25 divided by 32 is, so it's 0.78125. So what I can do is I can actually just go right here, tab, and then I can go 0.78125, and I can times that by 2 for the second line, and I can snap it. And I can continue this process. So I can also do tab, so 0.78125 times 3. Now there is options up here to where you can copy, and I can move and I can scale. Now these things are all nice, but they really start to, I don't really want to say make things harder, but if you have to scale something and say it's like 4 or 5 lines, but you only want to change a couple dimensioning. So I'm going to go back to here. So if I wanted to say just change this logo right here, what could end up happening is if I started, or actually I should say these lines. If I were to copy all these lines, but then I wanted to scale it, some of these lines are going to scale on proportionally to this spot right here, because I've copied the lines. So, and then also if I want to trim them, I also have other issues. So it's, once you copy something, the lines actually aren't independent. They typically are now in a group, and once you do a modification, it modifies all of them. So if I were to copy this line right here and copy it all the way up, then when I go to trim the lines right here, I typically run into issues. Now sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, so I always just longhand it so I don't run into them issues. So it's a little bit more work, but it makes it easier if I have to change something, is what I've noticed anyway. So one of the next things is, if I wanted to draw this piece first, it is 7 and 19/32, so I would do, on the X, I'd tab and I'd go 7 plus 19 divided by 32, tab, and then my Y is going to be 10.156, so I'm just going to enter that because it already snapped it to the right location. Now this dimension is 5 and 15/32, so 5 plus 15 divided by 32, and then I'm going to snap it to here. So there's them lines right there. And then I can get rid of these dimensioning lines because I really don't need them. Okay, so now if I were to continue my lines going up, and if we count the lines, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so my next one's going to be 4, so I'm going to do tab, 0.78125 times 4, boom, and then I'm going to do it again, so tab, 0.78125 times 5, and then I can go through here. Now this one's kind of easy. I'm just going to make that line right there to there, and so that's going to be 6, and then I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to go tab, 0.78125 times, and we can just double count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep, 7, and then it snaps me up to right there, and now I can do that again. I'm snapping onto this line. If you notice that, that's why the X is not moving. So I'm just tabbing through. I'm just hitting the tab button. That allows me to change them. So 0.78, ooh, I did that twice now. 125, and then I'm going to times that by 8. And then you guys can see as the more lines I'm establishing, the more it's wanting to snap to other things. 0.78125 times 9, enter. So I'm going to zoom in to where it's not snapping onto other things, because now it's starting to get confused. 0.78125 times 10. .78125 times 11 .78125 times 12. And there we go. Now the same thing would apply for the stars that I would put in here. And if you notice this on this particular logo, I didn't put stars in here. I've just got this. I gotta also add some text in here, but I'm gonna do all that off screen. So pretty much really quick 10-minute video of how to get the baseline of a flag started on here. When you're done, you can hit the finish button to save it. If I hit the save, it's gonna prompt me that, hey, you gotta, finish your sketch before we allow you to save. So just hit OK, and now I can save it. And there we go. If I wanted to do an extrusion, if I wanted to like make this whole thing like that, and say I want to go the other way so I can still see my text. So we can go like that. And now if I wanted to say I want to mill out these and I want to go in a 1/2 inch, or actually I'm just going to do a 1/4 inch because I think a 1/4 inch would be a little bit better. So we can zoom in, and I'm going to do every other one. So I'm going to go boom, but I want to go this way. And what this is going to do is, if I were to program this now to, oops, I don't want to do that. So if I accidentally hit one that I shouldn't, I can hit shift and undo it, and then go like that, and then like that. So there we go. And then if I want to drop this die down, now obviously, or not obviously, I shouldn't say that, but if I do have some stars and stuff in here, when I hit this down, it'll keep all my stars up. But I haven't programmed them in. That's going to take a long time, and I don't believe that my recording will allow me to do that. I'm going to test this out. I had a 32-minute recording, and it didn't save all that work. Well, this is a very fast, quick American flag logo, and I could definitely do a pattern on them. But anyways, if you guys want to see me doing more videos like this, definitely like, subscribe, and let me know.